Hey guys, welcome back to this channel and I hope you're all having a great day. So in light of the recent speed chess matchup between Anish Giri and Shakhriyar Mamedyarov, I've decided to cover a game between these two players. So for those of you who have not watched that matchup, Anish Giri managed to upset Mamedyarov with a score of 17-15. So this game was played in the 2014 Qatar Masters Tournament, and Shakhriyar Mamedyarov had white and Giri had black. So without further ado, let's jump into the game. Mamedyarov opens with c4, the English opening. Knight to f6, knight to c3, e5, g3, bishop to b4, bishop to g2, Giri castles, and here there are many ways for white to play this. You can play d3, which is sort of like a Sicilian setup for white. You can also play knight to f3, but here Mamedyarov plays e4, trying to clamp down on the d5 square. But that does leave the d4 square a little bit weak, so black might be able to occupy this square in the future. Here Giri plays bishop takes c3, so trying to remove one of the defenders of d5. So ideas like c6 and d5 are possible in the future. We have b takes c3, rook to e8, here d3, c6, so already preparing the move d5, knight to e2, d5 from Giri, c takes d5, c takes d5, e takes d5, knight takes d5, and here rook to b1, putting the rook on the nice semi-open b file. We have knight to c6, castles, and here Giri plays bishop to g4. A good move. So the immediate threat is knight captures c3. This knight on e2 is pinned for the moment. So f3 is almost forced, but this does weaken the e3 square and also this dark square diagonal, which this queen might be able to take advantage of later on. Bishop to f5, so now putting some pressure on the pawn on d3. Mamedyarov plays rook takes b7. And here black has many plans. He can play a quiet move like rook to c8, just silently putting pressure on this pawn on c3. Can also play more tactical with knight takes c3. The point is, after knight takes, black makes use of this weak diagonal with queen to d4 check. After king to h1, queen takes c3, and well, this is a very short position for both sides. But here, knight to b6 from Giri, so trying to trap this rook here. Mamedyarov plays f4, opening up an attack on the knight. We have e4 closing down, and here queen to b3, trying to go for more in this position. And that is just Mamedyarov's style. He loves complications. He loves creating positions where he has winning chances. But unfortunately, that doesn't really work out in this position because white's pieces are not yet ideally placed. You can see this bishop on c1 isn't doing much. Knight on e2 is a bit passive, and this bishop on g2, it could be great, but this pawn is, for now, this pawn is locking the bishop out. So here the best move for white would probably be d takes e4. This does lead to a series of exchanges. Here white wouldn't want to trade queens yet, because if you trade queens, then you actually end up losing material. Here the rook is under fire, so is the knight. So in this position, after bishop takes e4, white most likely has to play queen to b3, looking at f7. Black defends with queen to f6, and something like this would occur. This knight is under attack, so it goes to d4. Here black can play knight to a5, so forking the rook and the queen. After queen to c2, looking at this rook, if knight takes, then simply queen takes. So here black would, the best move would be rook takes d4. After rook takes b6, pawn takes, queen to f2. well, many pieces have been traded off and there isn't much left to play in this position. So understandably, Mamedyarov didn't want to go for this line. So here, queen to b3 from Mamedyarov. Bishop to e6 from Giri, queen to b5. E takes d3, and here the position is starting to get very sharp. But unfortunately for Mamedyarov, the complications in this position favor black because black's pieces stand better. So this knight is under attack, and if you try knight to d4, black simply wins material. After takes takes, queen takes d4 check, king to h1 here, d2, threatening queen, so the bishop has to take the pawn. You could also try bishop takes c6 in this position, but here after bishop to c4, black is better. Queen to c5. Here you simply capture on e2 with the rook. Moves like d2 are coming. Here Mamedyarov played rook takes b6. And black could capture this rook with the pawn. He would still be better after a line like bishop takes c6. Here you play pawn takes knight. So attacking this rook moves. And here you throw in rook to a5, attacking the queen. And this rook is now safe after rook to f8. So black would be up an exchange in this position. But Mamedyarov goes for something even better. Sorry, Giri goes for something even better. He plays d takes e2. So after rook to e1, bishop to c4, attacking the queen, also defending this very dangerous passed pawn. Queen takes c6. Here what happens if queen takes c4? And simply queen takes b6 check. After king to h1, queen to f2, so looking very dangerous for white. And the rook doesn't really have any good squares to go to. If rook to g1, simply e1 queen, and black wins. So here, bishop to d2 is forced. You simply play rook a to d8, bringing the other rook into the game. And you might be thinking, what if queen takes c6? So here, if rook takes d2, simply queen takes e8, and that is checkmate. Well, here black plays a very cute move, king to f8, so defending this rook, and there are no more back rank issues. Also, this queen can't give check on c5 because this is covered by the black queen. So after something like queen to f3, then material would be traded off. Black enters into an easily winning endgame, so there are threats of rook to d1, also rook captures on a2. So very good position for black. So here queen takes c4 well, it's possible, but you lose the game. So queen takes c6 for Mamedyarov, trying to keep things very sharp, but queen to d1. So obviously not takes, because that would allow pawn takes, and this is winning for black. So here Mamedyarov defends with king to f2, but Giri plays rook a to d8, reinforcing this square. And it was in this position that Mamedyarov resigned the game. So there isn't much that he can do here. Well, if he tries queen takes c4, here simply queen takes e1 check. And after king takes, the rook enters rook d1 check. After king to f2, e1 queen. And this is easily winning for black. This king is too exposed, and also this bishop is falling. So a very enjoyable game from Anish Giri, and I hoped that after this game you would realize that he is also capable of winning. So that is all for today, folks. I hope you enjoyed the game, and if you do, please subscribe for more future content. Thank you for watching, and have a nice day.